This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. Today is Get Your Message Out Tuesday, where we talk about your brand, your messaging, and your website and your social media platforms, all that stuff. We've been doing it for a while, so we're up to your website. And today we're going to be looking at some website branding examples after we look at brand, of course. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jane Gardner, and I work with my husband for the last 20 years in our structural engineering firm in Western Canada. And I came out onto the internet to help others to start their business. So I hope that you'll find this useful today. We have been talking about getting your message out, which is all about your messaging to attract your customers. So let's go and have a look at what we're going to be talking about today. It's called Get Your Message Out Tuesday. And for those of you who don't know, I have an offer for you to build your own brand in a week. You can go to jgtips.com/brand and have a look there at what we would be doing. We're basically going to be having 6 days of training and information on how to look at your business, differentiate it from your competitors, identify your market, name your product, develop your brand messagings, measure how effective that is, and reassess and refine your messaging, because once you have your messaging, you can attract your ideal customer. And there are 3.4 billion people probably out there now on the internet, so I'm sure once you go and you have a certain message that goes out there, that you'll attract your customers that want your product or service. So let's get started. We already have had 4-week trainings on you and your brand. And we're finishing off you and your website right now. If you want to look at any of the previous shows, just go to my jgtips.com/YouTube channel. Sorry, jgtips.com/YouTube. And that's my Solopreneur Success Strategies YouTube channel. And you can just go back in previous weeks to see some of the discussion on brand and on website. So a brand is your promise, your commitment, and what you stand for and stand against in your business. It's all about your messaging. It's messaging that is consistent, accepted by your customer, and attractive to your customer, and it has a unique edge to differentiate it from your competitors. So we looked at, in the website series of episodes, we looked at your homepage and how to use messaging there. We looked at your About Us page, that's very important, and how to have messaging there. We looked at your Start Here page, which if you don't know about, it basically gives the people a tour of who you are and what's on your website. And then of course there's your blog. And the other pages that we looked at last week were your contact page, your frequently asked questions page, your 404 error page, and your sitemap. So these are all pages that should reflect your messaging and your brand. And it's not so much your logo and your elements, it's what you're talking about and who you are and the style of your messages that's important, because that's what will attract the people to come back and watch your information and buy your information again and again. So what would your potential customer want to read about on your blog? You have to realize that it's not about you, it's all about your customer, and your brand is equal to your messaging that should speak to them and that they should attract them to you. So you should be the solution to their problem or the solution to fulfill their need or desire. So your brand and your website, your product and your services, your opt-in pages, your thank you page, all pages should have your brand messaging identifiable, and your style, your brand style, as well as, of course, your brand elements like your logo and your colors and your various other things like your social media icons, depending what style you want. They should all be consistent on each page so that If someone lands on a page other than your homepage, they know this is your website because of the style of your pages. So always make them pages consistent, easy to read, have a repetition of the theme throughout all the pages, and make it your pages useful for your visitors to stay and interact and get more information on your product and services. Have a frequently asked questions section if you haven't thought of that before, so that they can then go and find out answers for questions about your product or service. So let's have a few pages that we look at for their brand messaging. For those of you on audio, I don't think it's going to be too useful, but I'll try and express, after I give you the website link, if I know it, that you can look at it anyway. Or you can come to my website and have a look at the video, or my Solopreneur Success Strategies on my YouTube at jgtips.com/YouTube to have a look at some of the website that I'm talking about. So for example, I have used this one before. It's chargemoremoney.com. And on this one, it's very simple, but it's important to see that it's the simplicity expresses the brand of the person whose business it is. So for example, it's very simple in that you can just click to sign up to find more information. Below the 3 reasons you should charge more money, there is also information on who you are. So whether you're an online solopreneur, coach, consultant, social business leader, then you should be coming and talking to me, for example. And then he has a lot of information. So the colors and the branding, very forward in terms of who the person is. And then we also had a look at socialmediaexaminer.com. It also has its own very distinct branding. They decided to do an adventure type theme for some reason, and they always use this explorer in their logo, and they have jungle colors. And you know when you land on it that even if you may or may not like their theme, that is their theme. So making sure your theme is always consistent and your colors are consistent is very important. And as you can see from the Social Media Examiner, there's no one person who is forward on this website, whereas the previous website, there is obviously it's one person who has is a coach type person, and so it wants to be, whereas this one, you don't know who the owner is until, of course, you look further information. So it's more of an organization. Similarly, for directionsu.com, so that's directionsu.com. It's a Directions University. They are using university colors of purple and yellow. They are using very simple language. So how can the Directions University help your business? So it's a very direct question, and then it answers that question. And then they give you some idea on the various systems that you can learn in their university. So you can get the tone from the website as to what they are and who they are. And then we have the Michael Hyatt website. I've talked about this one before. He's front and center as the personality for his website. And it's actually I think that's basically what's it called? Front mat or something. A page that you come to when you first come to his website. Make more time for what matters most. And then he says, I'm Michael Hyatt, author of Platform, Get Noticed, etc., etc. Downloading my free guide. And And then, of course, you scroll down further. But the first thing you see is him smiling. And he identifies himself as the personality for the business. Now, of course, Porsche. Yeah, Porsche. This is their homepage, and it's very simple, and they don't need any more information really, because everybody knows what Porsche is, and it just says welcome, and there's the 5 different models of their cars, and then you have to actually click to go into the website and find out more information about whatever it is you want to find out. So that's a very simple website because they know you know who they are. Then I've talked about redbull.com before. This is a drink, energy drink, but they also sponsor lots of events that are sort of extreme events. And on their website, it's very hard to tell what they actually sell, because it's just a very small logo at the top, and the rest of it is all about the various adventures that people do in the when they're going to the Red Bull event. So it's very much directed to people who like extreme sports, extreme events, and it's got video on it on the the camera that you use for shooting live when you're on your bicycle and that sort of thing. So it's very much oriented to our young audience,